Hey guys, how's it going? Companion here. Today I'm going to talk about a fairly used card. It's the Antique Healbot. Now, this card has seen a lot of playing constructed in very specific decks, and in Arena we've seen it a little bit, but I feel I've seen it enough that I can really give a very solid opinion on what's going down with this card. It turns out it's pretty sick. When I first saw it, I thought it maybe not. It's going to be used in some constructed decks. It'd be alright in Arena. But as it turns out, this card is pretty spectacular in both. When it comes to constructed, this card isn't used in that many decks, but it is used very effectively in a few. So for instance, when you're playing Warlock, when you're playing Handlock, if you have Lord Jaraxxus down, the only real issue is that you kind of get withered away. But Antique Healbot times 2 in Handlock has made Lord Jaraxxus one of the scariest things ever. And in that deck it fits really well. I've seen Antique Healbot play in some Shaman decks, kind of to give it a little bit more sustaining power. And I've seen Antique Healbot play in, it makes cool decks possible in Druid. For instance, I play Antique Healbot, and it makes Mill Druid possible. I think without this card it wouldn't be possible, and it has some pretty cool outcomes. I'm going to show you guys a game from that. But when this card was first announced, I compared it to Guardian of Kings. I compared it to kind of like a Paladin card, and Guardian of Kings is pretty well used in most Paladin decks. It is a very strong card. The 6 health is a big deal, and it's a pretty big body, especially when compared to Antique Healbot. Antique Healbot isn't as big of a body, but it is a little bit more health. So I thought the Antique Healbots be kind of on the lame side. Probably not going to see much use because of that. Antique Healbot has a lot of value because it's a mech when it comes to Arena. Not when it comes to Constructed, though. In Constructed, if you're running like the Mech Warper, that kind of like mech synergy stuff to make the minions cheaper and all the other crazy stuff that goes on, you're basically playing like a Zooey deck, so it doesn't really matter that it's a mech. It's Antique Healbot's going to be played in a control deck that often doesn't really have any mech synergy at all. But when it comes to Arena, having a mech just for like Tinkertown Technician or that kind of stuff, or other mech synergies, if you're running like a mage, for instance, a Goblin Blast Mage, it's a really big deal. Just to have like 3 or 4 mechs scattered through your decks, doesn't really matter what they are, makes it so you can pick cards that are originally like mediocre, and they become really, really good, like the ones I just mentioned. And Antique Healbot, it's not like just a mech. It's a mech that's very powerful. In Arena, the meta has changed to where it's very difficult to overcome the early game lead, much more so than before, because minions are a lot more sticky. And this card makes it possible. It makes it possible so when you're finally stabilizing on the board and you got like 4 life left against a mage, you can actually win, because going from 4 to 12 is a huge deal. If they're out of cards, you're going to be able to win, and it changes the game. So, for instance, when you are the one playing like the face deck in Arena, what happens is you kind of have to consider playing around this card. You have to weigh in the risk that if the opponent is running some kind of heal, you will fail. So it makes that decision to go totally all in a little bit more of a difficult one, especially if you're a conservative player like me. And sometimes you go for it anyway, and sometimes you have success anyway, but this card does stop a lot of that. So when it comes to Arena, I'd actually consider the Antique Healbot. Now, it's based on what type of deck you're playing. If you are playing the go for the face deck, you don't really want this card in your deck. Sometimes you do, because if you're playing like mages with a lot of fireballs, that kind of stuff, this card will often buy you another turn, essentially buy you another redraw to maybe kill your opponent with a fireball in the next turn. But in general, you want to play this card in the slightly slower decks that don't have a lot of mechs that really benefit from the heal. So if you're playing Priest, it's not that big of a deal, but if you're playing like Shaman, it's a huge deal. If you're playing Mage and you got like a bunch of Flame Strikes, that kind of stuff, it's a huge deal. And if you have just a little bit of mech synergy that you need the mechs for, this card is absolutely perfect. So Antique Healbot, I thought it'd be alright, like I mentioned, and really it's been outstanding in just about everything. Now, I haven't seen too many aggressive decks run this card in Arena or in Constructed, but it is possible that if the meta changes to a really aggressive one, in Arena, but specifically in Constructed, it might actually be the case where Antique Healbot will make the full mech aggro list, because with Mech Warper making it cheaper, it's not too bad, and that extra little bit of health, if the board clears are involved, might be a tipping point. So, great stuff from this card. I want to highlight a couple games for you guys. One from Arena, one from Constructed, and both a lot of fun. Enjoy. It's gonna be Cactarian's last day on stream. Maybe we'll have a final goodbye. Yeah, we're selling him off to the butcher. He's gonna become hot dog meat. Don't worry, guys. We've been feeding him well. He's gonna give a good time to the fat dude at the ballpark. Alright. Mage. I think I'll keep the Dark Iron because I have a lot of early game, so I need to kind of scale up. Peter will not save you guys. This is how the world works, guys. When you get old, you become recycled into a hot dog. It's the cycle of life. Terrible plank. Here it comes. Here comes the trash. Ah, fuck. Damn. Okay, it was a decent play. Ah, this Blast Mage. You suck, Mr. Blast Mage. This is PETA. I'm not going with PETA. Fuck PETA. Interesting. Alright. I'm not really that afraid of Blizzard, so we'll just go for some Trogsy. Okay. So the issue right now is that I don't know how to play around Flame Strike very well. Hello. Maybe just play the Dark Iron and Ping. Alright. We have basically 20 damage in hand. Okay. Should win this game. He has more cards than me. I might win a control game. But I'm pretty fucking sure I'm just going to win a face game.
We have many secrets.
Damn, he had one. Okay. So he gained 8 life. He's gonna need a panda though. They win. And that's why you max the damage, guys. Because they might have that card. Rip in peace. Apparently against Druid, this has the worst matchup. Alright. I don't really know what I'm looking for. I guess I'm looking for shit like Grove Tender, Sticky Minions, and Wraths and stuff. Because a lot of Druids play mech now. Okay. Okay. Like, I can afford to take damage with this deck, I've been told. I'm gonna go for enormous clear. But I might take an enormous amount of damage from shit like Savage Roar. I'm gonna overdraw. Alright. Yeah, I don't really know what to do against Druid. Apparently this is 10% win rate, so
Mind if I roll mead?
My hand is too full.
okay, that's fine. Let's see. We'll go Poison Seeds. Wild Pyro. Innervate. Healing Touch. Okay, we're outside of combo range. He's at 8, so Naturalize does overdraw him like crazy. We're gonna go ahead and try that.
My hand
Ah, the great outdoors.
job done. My hand is too full.
Well, I'm dead to like an Innervate combo with something else, but I might be able to tree a life. Oh, you want to draw? Is that right? Innervate swipe. Okay. There's no way 1,000 games are played with this deck. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I must safeguard the land. Drink with me, friend.
All right. Yeah, what happened? Didn't Wrath for one? Okay.
For the wild.
I'm dead to Force of Nature, Savage Roar, Innervate, Savage Roar. Those are 4 exact cards, but chances are pretty good he has them all. I haven't drawn either Starfall. I don't really know what to do. I mean, I could Poison Seeds Keeper to kill that. It seems very, very shit.
I've got the beast in my sight. For the wild.
Okay. Well, I have an anti-Healbot and 2 Starfalls, right? Wrath. Okay, I'll do this then.
I must safeguard the land. For the wild.
I think it's a really cool deck idea.
Take heart, young one. The Earth Mother is near.
Okay. If he has double combo in the deck, I'd die for sure. But he was drawing one of those 2 cards anyway, so it's basically the same thing. Force of Nature, Savage Roar. Oh no, he can't double Savage Roar. He used 1 Savage Roar early on. Oh my god, I'm probably gonna win this. Fuck. Am I dead to combo? No. No, I'm not.
Feel nature's wrath. Time waits for no one.
Pyro Seed doesn't work. See? I just did that to show you guys. Use the tree to stay alive, but then I just die the next turn. I mean, maybe he's only running 1 copy of combo, but it's unlikely because I've seen his deck and I've seen it several hundred times before. I don't think I milled any of those cards. I mean, he does have Cairn, so maybe it's a more control-y druid. Oh, wow. Does he not have combo? Holy shit. He doesn't. Alright. Starfall or Starfire. Wrath. Oh, not very good, but okay. I shouldn't have done anything that turn. Yeah, I mean, I guess. He has to have a Force of Nature. Because he had Savage Roar. Oh my god. We just beat the Druid matchup. Okay. Alright. Well, that was cool.